In today's video, I'm going to be showing you a few house hacking opportunities in Washington, D.C. These are active, current deals on the market that I've found to have a lot of potential. So these are properties you could live in and then rent out the other units, including the first one I'm going to show you where you could potentially make $15,000 per month, live in one unit, and also live in one of the best neighborhoods in Washington, D.C. So I'm going to be showing you a couple different deals, different price ranges, different neighborhoods, different amounts of cash flow. Okay, so here's the first deal, and I know it's priced pretty high, 2.895, right in Dupont Circle. This one is actually a 4-unit building, and this one was priced at 2.975. This one actually was priced as high as 3.225. So they initially priced it much higher. And this is the one. So you have 4 units. You have 2 one-bedroom units, 1 2-bedroom unit, and 1 3-bedroom unit. So let's just go through some of the photos here. So this is obviously like a prime piece of real estate. Most people are not going to be approved for $3 million. However, just running numbers conservatively, for long-term leases, you'd be making about $13,000 per month, which, could go a long ways towards paying your mortgage, maybe even pay it off completely every single month. So it's obviously a pretty nice unit, great location. And one thing you could do, I believe this property is vacant. They were kind of like unclear as to whether they kind of made it seem like it was vacant, but I'd have to confirm with them. So this is assuming it's vacant. But this would actually be a good property to live in one unit and then Airbnb the other units, because if you can get about $13,000 per month on a long-term lease, then I guarantee you could get, I don't know, maybe 15,000 or maybe significantly more with Airbnb, because when people come to DC, Dupont Circle is like one of the best neighborhoods you could, stay at, all the restaurants, everything like that. So a 3-bedroom here on a long-term lease is about $6,000 per month. 2-bedroom is about $4,000. 1-bedroom is about $3,000, and that's more for the long term. So obviously, just add some numbers to that with Airbnb. Airbnb is obviously a lot more management, but for someone that's savvy with that kind of stuff, could be a good deal. Over 6,000 square feet, 6 parking spots, 4 exquisitely maintained units, sun-drenched. Yeah, so this would be one. I haven't run exact comps on it, but because it's been listed a little while, yeah, so 200 days. And it was actually bought in 2020 for 2.9. So it's under the COVID price, under 2.9. So you might even be able to make a lower offer than this and get a pretty good cash flowing kind of deal. So let's say you're approved for significantly less than $3 million, which I expect just about everybody is. If you tell your lender, hey, by the way, this is projected to make about $15,000 per month with 1 vacant unit, they're going to use 75% of that income to help you qualify. So obviously you could qualify for a lot more, maybe not $3 million, but it's worth at least showing to your lender. And let me just show you the location. So here's Dupont Circle Metro, Calorama, you got U Street. So you're right in the heart of things. This is where people want to be. This is where people want to rent, short-term, long-term. You got downtown right there. This is a great location and a really nice looking property. All right, moving on to the next one. So we are going to a much different neighborhood. We're heading down to Northeast Benning Road. And again, this one is listed at $2 million. And let me show you the location. So Benning Road, this is definitely a road you should like drive up and down, get a feel for Benning Road. It can be a little bit busier, just people walking around in the middle of the road sometimes. But you do have the streetcar that comes along here. So that's definitely a selling point. And then RFK Stadium, they're going to be redoing that. And then there's just a lot of development going on around here. It's still definitely an up-and-coming area. It's not the first place people want to move to when they're checking out DC. That would probably be Dupont Circle. But it's definitely, H Street, you have a lot of restaurants, a lot of development going on over here. And let's get to the numbers on this one. So this, from what I can tell, is basically a brand new building. Click through some of the photos. And so they're all 2-bedroom units, brand new 2-bedroom units. And according to the listing, you can get about $2,800 per month. That might be a little bit on the higher side, but in that area, there is a lot of luxury properties going up. So, $2,800, maybe $2,500. I'd have to run comps. All of these properties, they kind of give you the best case scenario. So you always want to, and for that matter, any of these properties that I'm telling you about, this is kind of like looking at properties on a high level. So we'd always like kind of crunch numbers a little bit more closely. But these are just like the ones that seem like potentially pretty good deals. So $8,400 per month, and that's on a long-term lease. So obviously, you could probably make some more on Airbnb. And sometimes people will, do one unit Airbnb, another unit long-term lease. They might, it looks pretty nice. You might got a little rooftop right there, or they might do all long-term leases because they don't want to deal with Airbnb management and that kind of thing. But this one's also been listed for 109 days. So this is something that, and they have the Heckinger Mall redevelopment going on over there, not too far away. So this is still, even though it's making $8,400 a month, if you with one unit vacant, you'd still want to negotiate, obviously. And you would think a seller that's had it listed for 100 some days would negotiate on price. Some sellers are reasonable, some not so much, but a pretty interesting opportunity, I'd say. And what's good about this here, you have the off-street parking spaces. So that is definitely a selling point as well. Because sometimes there's like petty theft around there, people breaking into cars, that kind of thing. Next up, we have 5th Street Northwest. This is like the most DC looking building ever. Nice historic, kind of Victorian style. So let's take a look at that location. So location wise, you're right there, Shaw, right close to the metro, close to U Street, Logan Circle, and then downtown DC is just right down the street. So this one is listed at 1.4. It just recently got listed. 4 bedrooms, 4.5 baths, I believe. It's pretty nice. And the one with the selling point with this one, so you have a 97 walk score. You're right there in Shaw, which is like all the cool restaurants, all the cool people, all the cool hipsters live there. And this one actually has a short-term rental history of about $5,000 per month. So you'd live in the top floor unit, which is 2 bedroom, 2.5 bath, and then rent out the lower floor, which is 2 bedrooms, 2 bath. So this is a pretty cool unit. If you're if you're a cool DC person, like you go to Shaw. I mean, people have probably been saying that for the last 10 or 20 years now, but people still really like it. Yeah, so nice. Like this looks like something you could just move in or rent out kind of like right away. And when they say history of $5,000 per month on Airbnb, it probably means like 4,500 per month. So all these numbers you always want to check. And it's not even to say that this price is like the best price, but it seemed to be decent. This was designed by a renowned DC architect. Prepare to be impressed. Yeah, so the selling point with this one, live in a really cool house in one of the most popular neighborhoods in DC, make $5K per month on Airbnb. Not bad. I could be down with that. All right, moving to the next one. This is a 4-unit property in the Capitol Hill area. They only have 5 pictures. They make it sound like it's like somebody could live there. I'd have to, sometimes when they don't show the photos, it might need a ton of work, but they don't, like usually you would say gut renovation needed and that kind of thing. So they don't say that with this one, which makes me think it might be livable. But yeah, great location. You close to RFK, your Capitol Hill, there's Lincoln Park. So right in Capitol Hill, 4 units, pretty straightforward kind of deal. And it's also fully vacant, so you don't have to deal with TOPA or anything like that. And for 1-bedroom units in this neighborhood, you're looking at about $2,000 per month if you were to do a long-term lease. So $975, you can make about $6,000 per month if you did long-term, obviously higher if you did Airbnb. Now, we don't know the full condition of this property yet, so I'm assuming that these are livable, not fully renovated units. Obviously, if they were fully renovated and like super modern, you could probably get more than 2,000. I just use like rough estimates here. But not a bad deal for someone that wants to live in Capitol Hill. Nice 4-unit building, get $6,000 per month. That would take your mortgage down quite a bit. Am I missing anything here? Yeah, they say about 27 to 3,000 per month, which I think is a little aggressive. They also have the type of zoning where you could expand the square footage. So if you were looking to more develop it, that could be an option. And I almost forgot with this building right here, they have a new roof and there's also new tuck pointing. So tuck pointing is where they kind of like redo the mortar on the bricks and make it look really nice. So new roof, new tuck pointing, that could have cost, 30, 40, 50,000 right there. So so definitely nice that that was done because a lot of buildings around DC do not have a new roof and definitely need some tuck pointing. And some of these companies around here, they'll charge you an arm and a leg for both of those. And real quick, 10 seconds before we get to the next one. If you have any interest or questions on any of these, just reach out to me below and I'd love to assist you. All right, moving on. So 1942 Capitol Ave Northeast. We're heading over to Ivy City, baby. A 4 unit in Ivy City. So this location, there's actually a lot of really high-end restaurants around here. I think I've mentioned that in a previous video, like super expensive, very good restaurants, ton of redevelopment happening. Definitely still up and coming. You can just Google different things about Ivy City. But I'd say overall, it's probably trending upwards. And then you got Union Market right over in this area, and then Trinidad, DC, and then H Street and whatnot. So um, definitely like close to some amenities. You're not completely far away from everything. So let's take a look at this one. The curb appeal on this building is definitely not ideal. Like I probably would not paint it whatever color this is. So this is one you could probably like just refresh a little bit. It's only 789,000, which for DC for a 4 unit in this location, assuming there's nothing completely weird or strange about it, it's not bad. So what's the deal on this one? So this one was at 895,000, almost 900K. So units 1 and 3 are occupied. They don't list the rent, but if we go by the market rent's about 1,500 per month. Now it's you shouldn't assume that they're always at market rate, but just for the sake of this video, I'm going to say maybe about market rate because some of these buildings in DC, someone might have been there for like 20 years and they're only paying $500 per month. But let's just say we're going market rate 1,500 per month. So 4 units, if you times 1,500 by 3, that would be $4,500 per month. So you could live in 1 unit. See, look, this one next door is looks like it was recently done. Live in 1 unit in an up and coming area. You got a Mom's Organic, and you got all these cool like places around here. Social, axe throwing. I've never done axe throwing. I don't know if it's really my style. Compass Coffee, Planet Fitness. I went to my first Planet Fitness the other day. More of a Gold's Gym bro kind of guy. But so you could basically make almost $5,000 per month and live in an up and coming area. And you could fix this exterior because I don't think it's the best. You could do some curb appeal, just fixing the lawn, painting it, getting rid of this. Could probably go a long ways. So that price is not too bad. Definitely this would definitely be one. Drives every property you should drive by the area. If you don't want to drive by, just do Google Street Drive, which is pretty helpful. You can get a very good idea of, hey, is there a police station nearby? Is there a 7-Eleven? Is there this, that? You can get a very good idea of the neighborhood just by Google Street Drive. Yeah, so coffee shops, gyms, bars, just minutes away from Union Market. Yeah, this would be, I like that it's a significant price drop. You got vacant units in the 700-ish range. This could be, kind of like this one. All right, moving on. So we are heading to a condo, and like 95 or 99% of condos will not let you Airbnb it, but sometimes these smaller ones, where if there's only like 2 units, they might actually let you do it. So this one, they're actually marketing it as an Airbnb rental, as like the basement you can Airbnb. So you always want to check the condo docs to make sure. But this is like a brand new building, just about. It's 3 bedrooms, 3 baths. So the basement unit has 2 bedrooms, 2 baths. So you would potentially live in the top floor unit, 1 bedroom, 1 bath, and then rent out the basement unit. And what are the rents around here? So long-term rent would be about $3,000 per month. So these are the basement units. You got this big egress window here. They look pretty nice. So you wouldn't really have to do much to get the private separate entrance. So, you could live. So this would there's also a unit above you, So your bedroom would be on this level, and then there'd be a two bedroom, two bath on the bottom level. So you could live near H Street, near Capitol Hill for 700K, and then make $3,000 per month or so on Airbnb. Or actually, 3,000 was more the long term lease. So potentially make more on Airbnb. Condo fee is 205 per month, so that's not too bad. Yeah, and you got the private balcony, backyard, um, walk score of 98. So that's pretty good. You're pretty close to the amenities, which is what you want to do. That's where people want to rent, people want to buy. So heading over to the next one, and this is a much different area. So this is a 4 unit, only 575,000. You're not going to find too many 4 units for 575,000. So this location in DC, like it's not exactly Dupont Circle. You know, downtown DC is over here, so you're across the river and like deep into southeast area. But the good thing is it's affordable. You're kind of a straight shot over to H Street. You just take Benning Road. This is probably, as far as DC goes, this is probably like the cheapest area where you're going to find a 4 unit for this price. And then you have a lot of development coming over the river, and you're still kind of close. Navy Yard's over here, so you're not too far. Capitol Hill. Um, so definitely an up and coming area. Not a ton of restaurants, not much nightlife, that kind of thing. But you get a 4 unit building for the price of a condo. Looks like it might have. Oh, it looks pretty nice actually. And this one's nice because 3 of the units are rented out. One is vacant, so you can make $3,400 per month. Your 575 is the asking price. Maybe you get them down a little bit. So a mortgage on 575 plus you're getting $3,400 per month. That's not too bad. With this one, the monthly income is actually about market rate. It's a little bit under market rate, but some of these you'll find where it's like priced really low. Like I said, they might only be paying $500 per month, $400 per month. So these ones, they're paying like over $1,000 per month. So it's not bad. This one also has a newly installed roof and new hot water heater. So that's perfect because on home inspections with these, a lot of times they're going to flag the roof, they're going to flag the hot water heaters. So this could be a good opportunity to get into house hacking. That's a pretty low price. Your mortgage would be pretty low if that's the purchase price and you're making 3,400. All right, so let me know what you think about these deals. Tell me which one you would buy and why. And if you have any questions or interest in checking out any of these, just reach out to me below and I'd love to assist.